All right, we are live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Game Week 15's FPL podcast, episode number 16. And we've got my co host Rush and Abin. How are you guys going?
Yeah, good. It's hard to keep on track of all these game weeks happening every other day. So it's I hope I don't miss one.
Exactly. We're in the middle.
I hope I don't miss one.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a game week. Yeah. We're in the middle of a game week right now with Spurs and United games yet to go. And I think we all have players as well still remaining. So we'll discuss, touch about that. And I've got today's thumbnail, I've got Jadon Sancho on the thumbnail as well. So some stuff to discuss with regards to him and United assets as well, who we are looking to get in, what we're going to do, what the moves are. The agenda would be, we'll look at the ticker, we'll discuss the results, look into like midfielders, forwards, touch a bit on the fixtures as well, and then we'll finish it off with the teams, price changes, and panel team. The panel team is doing pretty good, huh? It's almost on the same points as us with 4 more players to go. So yeah, so it's doing pretty good. So anyways, all right. So let's get into the season ticker. United right on top. So this is until Game Week 21, because Game Week 21 will be the start of the year, I think, 1st of January. So until then, I've added it, so that we kind of know what teams are on top and what teams we can target. Wolves right at the bottom there. I don't know how many. Rush, do you have Jimenez?
For the time being, yeah,
or...
but I think looks like I have to. This is the game week for me to get rid of him, probably. Yeah, he's gonna go soon. I'm not gonna keep him through that really tough run.
Yeah, I have Huang as well, and I'm like, I could probably bench him for one more game, but after that, he's gotta go. Leeds also at the bottom. Rafinha, a lot of us own Rafinha. After Brentford, it's a tough run. I wouldn't even take Aston Villa as an easy game because under Steven Gerrard, they're looking pretty good.
Rafinha is one of the guys that I just like to have in my team regardless, because I always count on Leeds scoring a goal and he'll be involved somewhere. So I find they won't get the results or something, but I fancy him to get an assist or a goal in any of the games. So and he's not too expensive anyway. So I reckon I wouldn't use him.
Fair enough. With Bamford, I think back in training as well could potentially boost it, but I don't know. For me, at the moment, I'm a bit unsure on what to do with Rafinha, because that penalty was like the only shot on target I think he had in that entire game. So bit conflicted in terms of Leeds in general. They don't seem to be the same Leeds as last time, though. That's the thing.
I think they've suffered from a lot of injuries, haven't they, this season?
Yeah, that's the thing. So we'll see what they do against Brentford. Brentford are also a mixed bag, not looking great that far. Newcastle at the bottom, Norwich at the bottom, Brighton at the bottom, and on top we got City, United, West Ham, Spurs, Burnley, Crystal Palace, Everton. Although I wouldn't say Everton are doing that great. I wouldn't be surprised if Rafa Benitez gets sacked soon, because of the way they're performing. So we'll see. Any teams you're targeting apart from United? Or are you even looking to get United players in right now? Oh,
yeah, it's a bit. I think we spoke about it like on Sunday as well. Yeah, United.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see what happens. Over the next couple of game weeks. I think this is the time to bring them in. I think we spoke about it this month of December. Your best bets are going to be those top 2 teams. I'm just really interested in seeing how the new manager incorporates the team and how they're going to play. Is Sancho going to be a big part of the offense, or is because Ronaldo came off the bench obviously for rest reasons, and I can see that happening quite a few times throughout this month. I can see because at his age as well, I don't see him play 90 minutes for the next 6 game weeks or 7 game weeks. So yeah, I mean, heaps of things to consider, and obviously you're right. I think the biggest problem, which not just me, but I think majority of the people are having right now, is budget and trying to fit in Ronaldo in your team when you've got that premium defense. That's going to be the big interesting point. Is so if you want to bring in Ronaldo, you're going to drop one of your already consistently performing players versus Ronaldo. That's the sort of risk.
Which striker is performing for you?
No, I'm not talking about strikers, but it's just in general, like the budget.
Defense.
The defense is performing so well and so premium with Trent, etc., that you can't just go with 4.5 million defenders, which is probably your best bet to fit in a Ronaldo and a Salah, and still have a decent bench. So yeah, I mean, look, we can talk here about which strikers are doing well, which strikers aren't doing well, and there's a lot of strikers which are doing pretty crap.
I can't remember the last time I got a return from a striker. Every week is a 1 or a 2. 1 or a 2.
Yeah.
Unless you had a Dennis or Josh King.
True.
But apart from that, strikers are like...
moment. So yeah, I mean, that's going to be a big, interesting topic. And I think that's, at the end of Game Week 21, it'll be really interesting because I think it's going to change a lot of rankings depending on which players you bring in. And, if you decide to drop some of your premium defenders, it's going to be very interesting.
This is when Rush supercharges his season from nothing to,
like last
Don't
time.
jinx it now. Don't jinx it. I've been having 5 red arrows in a row, so I think it's time that I get it.
Yeah, I'm on 3.
No.
I'm on 3 in a row. Jesus.
Oh, you're on green right now, though.
Red. I'm red.
Yeah. Oh no, you are on red. Rush is on green. I'm on a red as well. Oh no.
From where I was before
out.
the game week started, I have to be on a red. That's how badly I was performing. So.
Fair enough. All right. So, like we said, we are in the middle of a game week with Spurs, Brentford, United, Arsenal still to go. I wouldn't be surprised if Mbeumo does score in this game after I've got rid of him. But it is what it is. I am happy because Jota scored. Let's start with the Newcastle-Norwich. Nothing too much to say. Newcastle still without a win in the season. Fixtures getting a bit more hard again. Norwich though, Team Pukki.
Yeah.
Anyone looking for a cheap budget?
Well, I wish I brought him in 3 weeks ago because speaking of forwards who've actually returned, I think he's one of the players who's actually returned in the past, I think 3 out of the last 4 game weeks, and pretty decent returns.
I think if you get all these guys that are 6 to 7 million, Che Adams has been scoring a couple of goals. Ollie Watkins has been scoring a goal every game for Gerrard. It's Dennis, like we've talked about, King, Pukki. I think you can build a strike force of a lot of just 6 to 7 million if you want to do that.
Yeah, that's true. They are the ones who are performing right now.
Exactly.
Because unfortunately, we can't play with 7 midfielders.
No, we can't. Oh, and we can't own 4 Liverpool players as well. So
yeah, the problem with Pukki is that I think now the fixtures are going to turn, which is probably my only sort of. But I mean, look, they're an interesting team. They're kind of on the uphill again after the managerial change, and beginning of the season they were in shambles. Like they were a team that you're pretty much guaranteed to have a clean sheet if you're playing against them. Now I'm not so sure. They're playing the likes of Spurs and United in the next couple of game weeks, which, I mean, those 2 teams haven't been performing that well either. So I wouldn't be surprised if they bag a couple of goals against them.
Talking about teams that can't keep a clean sheet, Crystal Palace. Bought in Guaita for Sanchez. Biggest mistake ever. Sanchez has outscored Guaita, even with having missed 1 game.
But, I mean, look, you got really unlucky.
I don't know what Crystal Palace.
I think.
I know.
The first 92 minutes you were good.
But I guess I take it because I have Rafinha as well. So, but then again, still Crystal Palace. Even Sanchez, we used to say Sanchez couldn't even get like more than 2 or 6, and now here he is getting bonus points and everything. But Crystal Palace, Gallagher still pretty deep as well. Even though I'm not going to attempt it again because I'll butcher his name.
Milivojevic.
Mileo. I'm not going to try it.
Milivojevic.
Yeah.
I've been also like, I'm not going to attempt it.
He was captain at one point as well, I think.
He returned a whole 1 point for me this weekend, Gallagher.
Gallagher. Yeah, he's playing pretty deep. Apart from that, Crystal Palace, a bit of a mixed bag in terms of, I don't know, like very hard to predict what they're doing right now. Their defense used to be solid, but now that's also a bit shaky now. Zaha looks decent, but too pricey, I would say. From the same price, you can probably get a Jota. So I don't know what to do with Crystal Palace. They do have good fixtures though. It's just that I don't know. I have no idea. United game not easy, but after that Everton, Southampton, Watford not too bad, and then Norwich as well in that. So still not bad, but yeah, probably wouldn't look to get anyone else from there. Will you keep Gallagher?
I have to persist with them. I've only had from one game week. I was going to be away otherwise.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and I think there's
Fair enough.
I think more focus on other positions as well. And I think at Chatty's price point with their upcoming fixtures, which aren't too bad, there's no rush to really get him out. He's not,
Yeah, fair enough.
Lucky I got a hold of 1 point because I replaced Foden with him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you're getting Livramento off the bench. So this is the same thing. Talking about Livramento, Southampton can't keep clean sheets. When you need your bench players, they don't deliver. 2-2 Southampton Leicester. Maddison back again, looking really good.
Because I was going to get rid of Foden at this last game with guys I did, and Maddison was one of the players that I was heavily looking at. And I didn't push it. I mean, he did well. Was it last season? Yeah, it was last season. Him and Harvey Barnes had a storming around of fixtures until they got injured. So if he's picking up that form again, when he was linked to Arsenal in the summer, so he's a good shot.
Yeah, it's interesting. We spoke about this in the last podcast as well about Leicester and how inconsistent they are in the sense of you don't know who's going to score the goals every week. Last season we had Ian Archer scoring pretty much every game for fun. We had Vardy who can score every single time I don't have him in my team, and the moment I drop him, he decides to score. But
missed a good chance.
He always does. And I think his price has gone up as well, which is crazy. He's now back to 10.7. But yeah, Maddison as well. He's been looking good. 2 big hauls in the last couple of game weeks, 26 points, which is insane. Again, my concern with Leicester is I just don't have that guarantee that he's going to be the one delivering points every game. They have a lot of different like their attack isn't focused also, through one person.
No, I mean, a lot of things are running through Tielemans, and he was getting a decent haul when I was injured.
Exactly, yeah. Their attack's sort of just like all over the shop, which is not really good for me for FPL purposes. That I if I'm looking for someone who's going to be consistently giving me points, Madison's looking very, very juicy at 6.7. However, I think there are far better options in midfield.
And the thing is, when Tielemans comes back, that'll probably change again because Madison has performed when Tielemans has been injured, actually.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's probably all running through him right now because he's taking all the set pieces and everything. But when Tielemans is back, they share set pieces and all.
That's my only concern.
Cool. Yeah, fair enough. Southampton, Livramento, I think I'm going to still keep him. His price point is good as a 5th defender. Che Adams, I've been mentioned before as well. Again, another cheap striker for anyone looking. Although I think Southampton's fixtures aren't as great. Oh no, they're still decent. They're actually pretty decent. Southampton are playing Brighton, Crystal Palace, Brentford, Newcastle. So not a bad set of fixtures.
The thing with Southampton
if you want to
for me
rotate.
that kind of sways me from the strikers is that so many options in strikers. You got Che Adams, you got
for
Armstrong,
that low budget,
and you got Broha as well, all kind of like within a minute apart.
Oh yeah,
I've seen Broha play really well, and at 5 million, he's in my bench right now, just so I can clear funds elsewhere. But obviously, when Che Adams and Armstrong are fit, they seem to be the preferred options. Yeah, sometimes against crazy. I think the midfield there's no big star-studded players apart from James Ward-Prowse, who's just been there. But they seem to be defensively better, but not really anymore. Kind of thing. I don't know. They're kind of mixed bag as well.
Fair enough. Moving on, Watford, Chelsea. Chelsea can't seem to be keeping a clean sheet right now. Reece James not in the squad. I don't know if he's injured or just a rest. That's a bit unsure. Alonso, I think Abin has Alonso.
I do.
Oh, yeah. What are your thoughts about Alonso? For me, when I looked at him, he was targeted a lot.
I haven't watched any of his games yet, so it's like I have to still see what happened.
because for me it looked like he was more targeted, Alonso. Like he doesn't give me that same confidence as Chilwell does in terms of defensive stability at the back, which kind of like puts his position in a bit of more doubt because he can get rotated because there
Who
are
else
other
is the
players.
replacements for?
Like
left?
I think Tuchel mentioned that he can play. Who was it? Callum Hudson-Odoi there, I think.
There's wing back.
Yeah, he mentioned a few options, but he said that Alonso is the main man right now, and it's up to him to put the performances. But there are possibilities that others could. So I won't be surprised if there is one game week which he misses out due to rotation as well, because he did mention can he play all 8 games? Not sure, but yeah. So
It depends how
something to
bad
keep an eye out
Chilwell's
on.
injuries, right?
Yeah,
Do we know when
that's
Chilwell's
also true.
back?
The no idea. Oh, probably not going to take. It's going to take a long time because these are ACL.
Well, they haven't confirmed
Um,
that. They said the first 6 weeks are crucial. So
Yeah, that's why. The other thing is, obviously we have a double game week coming up for Chelsea, or we don't know when, but they will have one. The other thing is they're having a blank game week, I think in 24 and 25, for Club World Cup, and there is a possibility if they lose their League Cup match against Brentford in game week 18 or mid of game week 18, then they could have their double game week in game week 21. That is a possibility, although that is not confirmed, and that also depends on their game against Brentford. So maybe you could potentially keep your Chelsea players until then. After that, I think they have.
but in December
just
they're
as-
going to have a few blanks, aren't they, for the Club World Cup?
Yes. Yeah. So that's in Jan. As soon as it turns Jan,
Okay.
that they get the blanks, and then they come back to I think Liverpool and City. So there's a fixture period where you could potentially, as soon as the Club World Cup happens, you could potentially go without Chelsea players. Like you can
Yeah.
transfer them out, but might want to wait and see what happens to their double game week. So yeah, that's looking at any Chelsea players. Anyone else interest, or just stick to the current? Don't bring anyone else. No.
Yeah, I think
It's one of those things you don't know whether the goals come, and they've got like,
Yeah, you don't know
they've
where
got
they're
like
coming from.
18 different goal scorers, which is very good. But
yeah, I think I will be still on those fullbacks. For Chelsea, they've
Yeah.
just been really good, and I don't think Alonso will be rotated as much as we think, because I feel like in the beginning of the season he was the main man. When Chilwell was kind
I
of
agree.
not ready to play, so I think he will play a lot. And Chelsea probably, yes, if they didn't score this goal, concede this goal, it's a different story for the defenders. We're looking at Alonso in a different picture altogether.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I think that Chelsea is a good defensive team,
Yeah.
so I think they'll come back strong.
Yeah. This was, I think, their first goal they conceded away for this season. So, kind of says a lot. West Ham, Brighton. Antonio dropped
You've already
Antonio.
dropped him.
So far, living without Antonio. Huh?
That's it.
Who did
You've
I
already
drop him
dropped
for?
him.
Yeah, I've already dropped him. I bought in Kane using him, and then Kane missed the game, which was sad. But so far, without Antonio, it's been okay. The tough fixtures still continue, I believe. But will get better soon after probably after the Arsenal game, I would say. Because I think Arsenal and Chelsea still defensively are pretty good. But after the fixtures turn, does anyone here still have Antonio? Or is it just both of you have Antonio? Okay, so y'all potentially keeping him,
Well,
right?
yeah,
'Cause you're
I
not
want to, and he's not rewarding me for the faith keeping in him. And his value just keeps dropping. I think he's down to 8 now, back to 8 million now. I think is it? I think 8.1.
He's 8.
I think he
he's
fell.
8 million,
Yeah. Because that's what I was like. When I was looking, when I was dropping him, I was like, he's gonna get another drop very soon, and if I need to buy him, I can just buy him back at the price I'm selling him, kind of thing. So that's what I did. But yeah, if you don't would you look into doubling up on West Ham for their run that gets better from 18?
It depends. Well, it depends
I'm
how
not
the
sure.
other teams are performing, I think.
I don't know. I would, the West Ham of the last month maybe is not the same West Ham of the previous month. they don't feel that
Yeah,
appetite.
true.
Yeah, it's not very appetizing, any of their
Yeah.
play right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they have had their run of hard fixtures as well. They had Brighton, City, Wolves,
Oh, right now, yeah,
Liverpool.
going
I
on.
mean, the
Yeah.
past few games, they haven't had the best fixtures as well. But I think after this Chelsea game, that's pretty much the big teams kind of out of the way
Yeah.
for the
Most of
time
the
being,
big
at
teams.
least.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
Because that third
I think
undertaker.
I mean, if,
Yeah.
if you and I were to keep one, I think it'll be this month. If we're not going to get rid of him before the Chelsea game,
Yeah,
there's no reason I'm going to drop him for the Norwich, Southampton,
Yeah.
Watford.
sure not, for sure.
No,
not.
there's no. Yeah.
The best
fair
part
enough.
is
But
he's having the longest season without getting injured so far.
that's
You
true.
said it now; it's going to
That
happen.
is true.
Antonio's going to get injured right before the Burnley game.
Touch wood. But yeah. Brighton, Lamptey, not too bad, looking decent. Obviously didn't start this game, but came on in 15 minutes, got an assist. So he got rotated for resting reasons, but possibly will play again next game. Not too bad, looking pretty good. Anyone looking to bring in a Lamptey?
Do we
I
bring
was until
him?
Olympics got it available.
Huh?
There you go. Abhi.
No,
One
I
person.
was until
Go
Chilwell got injured and Alonso became available
yeah.
because I never jumped on the Chilwell
Yeah.
bandwagon, so I thought Alonso's going to be the guy. I had Lamptey as the guy I wanted to bring in before that because the couple of games I saw, I liked where he was in his positioning, and was a pretty good threat.
Yeah, we know what threat he can do because even in before game week 1, a lot of us had him in the pre-game week squads.
Where's Duffy
yeah.
gone? Who's gone?
Yeah, Duffy came back, but nothing to do. I don't know. I think Duffy's a rotation risk.
I think now he is Lamptey's back. But I was going to say, did we bring Lamptey into our manager's team? I think we did.
Did we?
Or we'll talk about it when we get there. Or didn't?
No, we didn't.
That's why we're thinking about it or something. Okay.
Yeah, we were thinking about it.
Okay, I thought it would be a genius stroke that we brought him in. Yes.
I know.
But yeah, 4.4. Look, I think Brighton's been good defensively. If you don't have a cheap defender and looking for one, I think he's a good option under 4.5. That's only if you don't already have Livramento or Duffy.
Yeah, Livramento.
I wouldn't waste the free transfer bringing in Lamptey for either of them if it's going to be your fifth or fourth defender. But look, I mean, each to your own. And he's been scoring. He's got good returns the last 3 weeks with a clean sheet and assist and whatnot. So, yeah, one to watch.
Fair enough. Yeah, especially if anyone wants to free up funds for the United assets, could be an option. Wolves, Burnley, I'm not even going to say much. Goodbye, Wolves assets.
That was so disappointing.
If you had Jose Sa,
so disappointing. Wolves last 2 games had Norwich and Burnley and they're blank. As a Jimenez owner or Huang owner, it's just so sad.
No. Yeah. If you're a defensive owner, you're happy. But if you're
you want to be a defensive
owner like us,
that's wrong. We kept so much patience with those guys. For the great run of fixtures, got nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Wolves, time to get rid. That's basically it. Burnley, I'm not going to touch about Burnley. I don't know what to do about Burnley.
Don't bring anyone in.
Not going to say
I like in Burnley. I like what's his name, Cornet.
Chriswood.
Yeah.
Cornet. Yeah, Cornet.
Well, I didn't watch this game, so I don't know. But
this game I didn't see much.
A couple of games before, he's been on those goal sheet.
He has.
It's always threatening. It seems a different player that a typical Burnley player would be. So
yeah, he's definitely had a bit.
Yeah, Cornet maybe
onto the Burnley team.
Yeah.
I just think that only problem with him is at his price point, right?
Yeah.
6 mil.
Yeah, he's at that 6 mil price point, which you're like, there are better players.
And he's playing out of position, isn't he? He's playing kind of like striker, kind of. But...
Burnley do have good fixtures, but then again, I'm still not tempted enough. Aston Villa, Man City. Now, Man City dropped Gundogan. A lot of people bought in Gundogan. I don't know what happened to Gundogan, whether he's injured or whether he's just resting. Bernardo Silva continues his great form. Foden missing in action. Obviously was on the bench this time. I don't know if he's going to play the next game even. He is due another price fall, and I'm now wondering, should I get Bernardo Silva in so I can fit in maybe a United asset as well? Otherwise, I'm going to be priced out on a few players. So, bit confusing, but Bernardo Silva looks pretty good, at least on the eye test and stats-wise as well.
Yeah, he's having a good season. He's always been around. He's been consistent. He's always on the scorch. He's returning one way or another. So he's him and I think him and Cancelo are the consistency that's always in the team.
That's the thing.
They don't let you down.
Yeah, the question is, do I do a Foden to Bernardo Silva?
Interesting, because I feel this season, Bernardo Silva has actually seen a lot more game time compared to last season.
Yeah.
Whilst people thought that Mahrez would play a lot more, Mahrez actually hasn't played at all this season. He's pretty much swarming the bench. Yeah, I mean, the Pep roulette, it's always a risk, especially now.
I feel like it's coming for Bernardo.
This month. If anything, this is the month I'll be a bit worried about the Pep roulette and stuff.
I'm almost going to stay away from any City assets, even though how can you with their amazing talent? Yeah. But with this crazy month, there's not going to be any confidence. I'd rather take a 2 points and a 0, right? So, unless you're willing to play and guess games every week and guess
game. Yeah, I know, that's the thing, right?
Every week keep rotating your own squad with a City player, then
yeah, that's the thing. It's a guess game. These things
I think I'm staying away. To be honest.
Fair enough. Aston Villa, we spoke last time as well on their improving performances under Steven Gerrard. Watkins, like we mentioned earlier in the podcast, getting goals could be another option for probably not the next 2 games, but I think after that Aston Villa look pretty good. Leicester may be pretty good game to bring in because Leicester are leaking goals, but then Liverpool game probably not the best. But then Steven Gerrard against Liverpool, you never know. Then after that, Norwich, Burnley, pretty good fixtures. Chelsea, a bit tough. And then Leeds, Brentford. So Aston Villa getting really good fixtures. We also mentioned Ashley Young last time for his price point.
What was he doing up at the top of the field? Yeah.
He's playing there.
United, he's left back or right back.
That's crazy. And his position as well, right? 4.2 million defender playing forward, which is interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I think we spoke about Aston Villa on Sunday as well. I'm loving Aston Villa in the sense that I just really the biggest mistake they did was bringing Danny Ings. Like, they didn't need Danny Ings when they had a class striker like Watkins.
And
they did good. I think the sale of Grealish was good because they were able to bring in like Buendia, Bailey, Ashley Young. Those world-class talent players like Ashley Young.
Hey man, he's a Serie A winner.
But exactly. So I think they're a team to watch out for. I think I mentioned as well. And Martinez in the back line has always been solid with the fullbacks, Target and Cash, Mings. They've been pretty good FPL assets in the past, and they work well together. So they'd be a team I'd be a bit scared of, actually, to be honest. Like, if you're playing any of your FPL assets against them, they're kind of a dark horse.
Yeah, fair enough. That's what I think. Because now I look at Aston Villa, and if I have defensive assets against Aston Villa, I'm like, they're probably not going to keep a clean sheet. Because they're looking pretty much better under Steven Gerrard. One to keep an eye on. Especially, I'm interested by Watkins for his price range. And we know he's capable of delivering like great results in terms of form. And I remember like last season in Rushan's, he was pretty good. Rushan's work league, the guy last season who won, he had Watkins in that tough fixture run, and he kept scoring.
So bad. He was killing us last year.
So we'll see. Everton, Liverpool. If only we could have 4 Liverpool players. We would have 2 fullbacks.
It is quite unbelievable what Liverpool is doing. You think with the season that they won and the season before that they won, you think when is this coming to an end? But it just keeps going. It's saying they score averaging 3 goals a game. and their away record is. I mean, I watched that this morning. I was watching that this morning live, and the commentator was going through their results, their last 10 results, I think, of away games. It's just 3-0, 5-4, 3-5-3.
Yeah,
It's unreal.
Scoring goals are fun. Actually, scoring goals are fun.
Salah could have had more, interestingly.
Lucky I didn't shift away from him from captaincy. You just can't.
I actually had it on Son for a while, and I'm like, wait.
Oh,
Maybe
no.
But that's what I did 2 weeks ago, and I put it on Kane, and then that was the biggest mistake because Kane had the best game, but then I didn't captain Salah, and then I dropped my rank doubled from that mistake.
Yeah. He's basically captained by every single person in the game right now at this present moment. It's just crazy. I wouldn't like, and he's just, even when he doesn't like score a couple goals, he's still returning with like one attack in return at least a game week, which is just pretty good consistency which you want from a captain. Everton, anything to talk about Everton, or they just look
I just want to say that Demarai Gray finally had to ruin Trent's clean sheet.
Out of all the weeks that we wanted Demarai Gray to perform,
After all of us dropped him and pretty much everyone cleared him off our team, he decides to score. So
Everton assets in general, probably no one. They are injury struck and now looking also pretty bad in terms of the players, not that great. Manager questions what's going to happen to him, but so those are the fixtures, those are the results. Tomorrow, United Arsenal, I'll be keeping a good eye on that. Obviously, still no Rangnick because of work visa issues, so it'll still be Carrick. So we still won't be able to see what the new manager will do to this United team. We'll have to probably wait for the next game. And then Spurs versus Brentford, I have Harry Kane. I believe Rishant has Kane as well. Son. And Abin has Kane.
Well, he better return for me. I've had him for 3 game weeks and I've got 2 points.
I know.
From him.
Yeah. So he better return after missing the last game as well. So we'll see. I'm hoping so. And Rishant is hoping for Son to return.
To be honest. But,
so we'll see what happens in the next podcast. Brentford, I think it's time to. Brentford's time is over. Time to get rid. This is top 20 performers in terms of the last 4 game weeks. Obviously, this Spurs and United obviously haven't played, but I think it counts their last 4 game weeks as well. But the top 3 Liverpool assets.
The top 3 goal scorers as well, I think.
I know. Top 3 goal scorers, top 3 performance in terms of stats. Just behind them is Trent as well in that list. But they're crazy, just performing. Volley could have 4 Liverpool players.
What has James done? Why is he in that? Dan James.
Who? Dan James. I think he's been getting not probably not this game, but I think the few games before he's been returning. He scored a goal as well. Where is his goals? He had 1 goal in the game before, I think, or something like that. But I wouldn't be looking into Dan James. Gundogan is there for anyone who bought Gundogan. Bernardo Silva, we spoke about, in there as well. Vardy just climbing back again into his stats. No one else pretty much, I guess. Okay, Josh King is here, and just after Adam Armstrong is Dennis. Now, Watford do have some good fixtures still to go. Although Dennis, they have Brentford, Burnley and Crystal Palace and potentially Wolves as well. Would you get Dennis in for that short run if you were someone injured. Looking at it?
Is he?
He's injured?
I think he's got a bit of a designation. I'm not sure if he...
I think he did have that and then he still played. Yeah.
Okay. He looks pretty good, Dennis. Performing last few games pretty good. Josh King had a more quieter game for Watford, but Dennis looks pretty lively on that right-hand side. Would you look into getting either one of them, or probably not?
Maybe to rebalance and getting United assets, probably.
Yeah.
But
because the price point is pretty decent.
See, those kind of price ranges are a bit harder the ones because it's hard to say they're more your bench players that you have on your bench. So, and then you get annoyed when they do return.
Oh yeah, true.
So,
Fair enough.
I mean, it's kind of the role that Huang has played for me, but he has not been doing anything for me. So,
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll keep seeing. I'm sure I'll get into that one of the game weeks.
Okay, fair enough. So this is midfielders. In midfielders, Sancho right there. Now United's fixture run is turning. Who do you have your eye on in terms of United assets? Obviously, we don't know what.
Why
the
is all of
fixture
United's
will be
assets so
like.
expensive? It's like there's not one. It's
I
not
don't
one
know.
just okay one. That's
Mason Greenwood is going down in price. Apart from that side, he's not playing though. But yeah,
Yes,
everyone else is
they're
very
just.
expensive.
I mean, compared to like a Chelsea midfield or so, United is just so overpriced.
Yeah, I don't know why. But are you looking to get anyone? Has to be.
It
Right?
will,
Someone.
but I think it's still. I'm going to wait till the coach what he
To see what
does
he does and everything.
because it might even look like. I think I shared it on our group chat that what Ralph did to Leipzig.
Yeah.
The
the
stats were
pressing stats
quite
and everything.
unreal. First and
In a majority of
of things compared to United, which is like last right now and everything. So let me just get that out again, so the viewers know. So it's like first in tackles, first in successful pressure, interceptions, recovery, open errors, first in goals conceded compared to United's now 18. So a lot of these things are telling me, we really want to tighten our ship. Is it time for United? Is it time for David De Gea?
Maybe we don't know. De Gea or even we don't know. It depends on the fullback.
I'm not sure what the formation is going to be. I don't know any of this, but maybe. But the thing is you take a punt to doing a defense because there's a template defense right now. If you sway away from that, it's dangerous.
Yeah, that's the thing. The template defense is right now really performing like
cheap,
pretty strong.
So it's good, but all that's telling me that's that that'll improve. So that's what, and I hope clean sheets start coming through for them. I just don't know because we've got so much good attacking options on our thing who he's going to favor until I see one or two, and I don't think he's going to experiment, or I want to see where his mind is going. Until then, it's going to be a punt.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm tempted by Sancho because of the fact that those pressing stats and his previous comments about Sancho as well. So I'm a bit more favored in terms of getting Sancho compared to some other assets.
And Donny?
Huh? Donny, but Donny won't get as very attacking, right? Although we would love to see him play. But in terms of attacking stats, I think Sancho seems to be more, especially given the price point compared to all the other United assets. It's a bit more.
Last season, all we were talking about was Salah and Fernandes. Why does nobody want Fernandes this year?
Yeah, Rushan mentioned this, I think, last time as well. He's not had any returns recently, but yeah.
It's insane, right? So I think, United's, attack, there's so many people, right? Like, Rashford's back. Greenwood was insane. We have Cavani playing attack a lot. But I think you can't go past Ronaldo. It's really hard to ignore Ronaldo right now. I think he is definitely going to be he can be a make or break over the next 1 month. It's like, okay, you're going to put all your funds towards him. It's either going to save your FPL or it's going to kill your FPL. That's what.
Yeah.
So it's more like, okay, so if you don't want to go with Ronaldo, you want to go with Sancho or Rashford or whoever it is, how are you then going to balance to get those kind of points? I think everyone's at a really tough spot right now with United, especially because, yes, there's a new coach coming. It's still the same players. Right? The players aren't changing that much. And we expect that managerial changes is going to magically give you these returns. And it will, but it needs some time. It's not going to happen over 1 or 2 weeks. He needs time. He might even need like a month, but even 2 months. It might be even a season long, right? It might not be even this season. So yeah, there's hope for United in the long run.
He's got only 6 months.
Exactly. There's hope
Yeah.
in the long run, but the short-term fix, especially at this point, I'm concerned in the sense that there's no okay, yes, he had one good game. He's scored. He's been playing throughout the season and stuff. You haven't seen much of him. So is he convincing enough to be for 8.9 mil as well in your team? That's the big question you got to ask, right? Like, I actually don't think it's a bit of a punt in a way. I don't think it's guaranteed that he should be in a team. It's not like all signs are saying get Sancho in right now. Like even right now, I feel like we're talking about Sancho. We're kind of like, yeah, he's okay. He's the best bet. It's not like get him in. He is the guy you got to have. We don't have that confidence, and I feel like until you get that confidence, it's really hard to trust United assets.
Yeah,
they're a team that you just can't trust unless they've consistently shown you some proof, right? Like Fernandes last year, he showed you that he's the guy you need to have in your team. At one point, it's like he's undroppable. Like, let's forget about this guy. Let's keep him in our team. Luke Shaw had that for a little bit the beginning of the season, and then he proved us all wrong. But no one else is really, even Ronaldo, yes, that first game week, we dropped him so fast. We didn't care. It's like Lukaku is the man. We dropped Ronaldo so fast, right? So this United, like as much as I love United, like I'm not. And when it comes to FPL, like I need some time. I feel like I'm not gonna rush. I know the fixtures are getting really good. They have Arsenal tomorrow. Fine, that'll be a good test for them. But
it's not on the new manager.
I mean, look,
that's the thing.
Anyone, if you look, we spoke about this as well. Like at like game week 5 or game week 8, we said that okay, at game week 13, we're gonna triple up on United. Look at us right now. We've got United assets in our team. So still debating. That's what I'm saying, right? So,
we're like, game week 14, maybe game week 15.
So yeah, it's crazy. You know, it's like it's as much as I'd love to have United assets in my team, I'm not convinced. That's the problem.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, cool. So that's the midfield. I added the forwards as well here, but kind of like what we touched on before. Wait and see. Most forwards not performing. Dennis, King, okay, but others not really sure. But yeah, Watkins also just entering that list now. So someone to keep an eye on for. But that is the forwards. There's a question in the chat, and I am not going to answer that because it's not one I want to answer. So
is it about who's going to win tomorrow?
No, it's you can check it. It's about Man City and human rights. So I'm not going to. Game week 15. All right, so game week 15 fixtures upcoming. Still Captain Salah, obviously against Wolves. Anyone that you'll be looking to vice captain just in case? Because nowadays with rotation, we never know.
Honestly, I haven't even thought of next game fixture. I'm waiting for this one to be done. It's very overwhelming. All these games happening, and I'm sure I'm gonna miss one.
What was the question?
Yeah. It's going to be it's going to be Kane for sure. Like playing Norwich, and they've had 3 unbelievable easy games and no results. Well, hopefully it's a result tonight or tomorrow morning, and Kane does something. And I'm so tempted to captain him. I hope if I do that, he rewards me, and then I can really move up the ranks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just FYI, I mean, last time a team played Norwich, I captained Jimenez against him, and he blanked. And Salah, in the meantime, got like 2 goals or something.
It's so dangerous. It could be unbelievable, or you'll be shooting down.
Yeah. Proceed with caution is what I'd say. Proceed with caution.
Another Liverpool away game as well, which they're killing.
There's another question on the chat, which is, do you think 65 points is enough to get a green arrow? I think 65 points is enough to get a green arrow, probably. Depending on your rank. 65 points may be enough to get a green arrow.
Is that with no more games left to play?
Yeah, with no players left.
Yeah.
Right now it's on 50, and I around 50 average. I don't see any big scores tomorrow,
you
but
got to say, Harry Kane.
I mean, I am okay with jinxing that.
Yeah.
But 65 may be enough, depending on who scores tomorrow. If like a Kane or Son scores, then you're living on the edge. But apart from that, I think you
it's
might
pretty
be
good,
safe. But
yeah.
just check and see. Yeah, 65 I think is pretty good score right now. All right, so that's the game week 15 fixtures. Looking at Kane vice captaincy or someone, a Spurs player maybe, could be good against Norwich. Now let's move into managers teams. Let me get it up. Since the game week is still going on, there isn't much to kind of like touch on it per se. Just going through. So I'm on 54 with so much for big at the back, man. It should be big in the middle. The midfield is the one dominating, with Salah just getting most of my points. Livramento will come off the bench for Rhys James with Smith Rowe and Kane still to play. So Smith Rowe is a differential for me. Interesting. So I wonder what will happen tomorrow. Let's see.
You hope nothing happens.
This is
That's what you hope. You hope nothing happens because you're a United fan. So you hope he blanks.
I hope there's like a United win
No,
3-2 or something.
We need a clean sheet. I'm sick of that's big. 18.
I mean, I think you missed that on our last week's podcast. So we made a bet with Roy that depending on the result tomorrow, we're gonna change our cover for the next week's podcast. I'm gonna have an Arsenal emblem behind me
Background.
if Arsenal win, and Roy will have a United one on this one.
Yeah. So we'll see tomorrow we'll see what happens. Rushant on 58 right now with Son to go.
Killing it.
Yeah.
He's on a green. Bro,
Look at that strike force.
Look at my bench. Look at my bench. There's 1 pointers. God. Perfect time to use a bench boost, guys. No.
No. With regards to the 65 points, he's 7 points above the safety score for his rank. That is really close. 7 points. Oh, that is very close. That then you're very dependent on what happens tomorrow. In terms of fixtures, you have to hope for very low scoring games.
Yeah, well, I need a Ramsdale blank sheet, but I don't want that for United's sake. So this is a problem. See, this is what FPL does to you. It's horrible.
I know. You got Ramsdale and Kane to go. I am hoping Ramsdale loses his clean sheet because I don't have a quite a clean sheet, and Ramsdale is owned by a lot of players.
Ramsdale has been doing so well for me. It's one of the best decisions I've made.
I know, he's been dropping my rank along with Jota before.
What is your rank now?
But yeah. Now I'm just outside the top 10k. I'm at 11.5.
Sorry for you.
I went from 2-4. I went from 2-4.
In the 100,000s.
No, you're just outside the 100,000. She'll be fine.
No,
Rush
I'm
on
on like
hand.
$500,000 or something. I'm like insane.
Nah, you climbed up 395. But Rush is coming back soon. You wait and see. Give it a couple game weeks and we'll see him back.
I'll be at the million or I'll be in the top 100.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, cool. That is basically it for the managers teams. Someone's asking why was my comment removed. I have no idea why your comment was. You didn't comment before. And then the other guy with Doctor who asked the points. I hope Rangnick does some magic for United and they win tomorrow because United players are very low owned.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Good point. We also hope that United do win tomorrow. So let's see. Price changes. In terms of price changes, Bernardo Silva going up soon. In terms of price falls though, Mason Greenwood going down, Tielemans falling, Rudiger could go price up tomorrow maybe, or I don't think he'll go up tomorrow. I think it'll be day after. Him and Cancelo looking like going up soon. Dennis on pretty high for price, so you could also see him. No, Huang is falling down. Depending on when you own Huang, you could either see no value lost or you might lose some price. So just check on that. Apart from that, the others, not many major players that we
When is
own.
Varane coming back? I forgot that we have him in our team.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe when he goes down in price, he could be a decent player to own. With the fixtures, like we spoke about the defenders all going down. But yeah. So up next, what else? What do I want to do? Oh yeah. Finally, time to wrap it up with the combined panel team. So let me get it up. The panel team is doing pretty good. 52 points. 4 players left to play. Tony, Ronaldo, Smith Rowe, and Ramsdale. Livramento coming off for James. Not too bad, I would say. Do we make a change for next game week, or just keep it?
Do we have one transfer or two?
We have one transfer.
Well, only thing here I can say is if James is injured, but if he's not, then I think maybe change.
I mean, we could just play Tomiyasu. It looks like a pretty good team. I don't mind playing Tomiyasu again.
I don't really. I don't think you can make a change.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'd be interested to have a Newcastle striker, but I just
Against
Yeah, I think
Burnley, yeah.
the
fair enough.
differential of
All the same.
Ronaldo as well is good here. I think he will play. He got rested last
Yeah.
game. He'll definitely play against Arsenal.
Yeah. Cool. So that's the panel team. All right. So that's it for today. Thank you for Aben and Rushant as well. And for all those who are watching, do hit that subscribe button. Thank you all. And we will see you all next week. And hopefully we all have some green arrows after these 2 game weeks. Other than